Active weather is on the way, storms blowing dust and wind, hooray. Not really. Oh, yeah, and fires too. Let's talk about it in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hi there, it's Friday, the 28th of February, 2025. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Buddy-in-Chief David Reimer. Heading into the weekend, we're going to have mostly dry weather, warm conditions, windy at times, especially on Sunday. Then it looks like we're going to have to deal with some thunderstorms going into Tuesday with another round of very strong winds behind the dry line, blowing dust, high wildfire danger. Oh, yay. Let's get into it. Here's the high res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, and parts of Saturday, and technically Sunday morning. Today, it's going to be a pretty nice day. We're going to have mostly sunny skies, warm conditions. Winds aren't going to be too bad. Going into tomorrow, we're going to start to see an uptick in cloud cover across the state, mostly upper-level clouds, as the Sunday system begins its approach from the west. Sunday isn't really going to be a precipitous day for Texas. In fact, we probably won't see much in the way of storm activity, with the exception of parts of northwest Texas and the Red River, perhaps late Sunday evening, but it is going to be quite windy, blowing dust, western half of the state, and fire danger. Speaking of fire danger, here you go. For today and Saturday, we're looking at moderate to high fire danger, the northwestern half of Texas. Sunday, things become more active. We're looking at very high to extreme fire danger, the borderland, the Davis-Guadalupe Mountains, the Trans-Pecos, the Big Bend, the Permian Basin, parts of West Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley. This may spread a little further east than shown here, with moderate to high fire danger across a decent part of Texas. It's going to be windy. Western half of the state will have very strong westerly winds behind the dry line. We're expecting blowing dust, warm temperatures, and again, the fire danger is going to be very high to extreme. Monday may be a little less so, but Tuesday could be a very active fire day across the western half to the western three-quarters of Texas, with more blowing dust, very strong westerly winds, and yes, even the eastern quarter to eastern third of Texas could have thunderstorms. Here's the long-range American weather model, the global forecast system. Going into Sunday, you could see a surface low moving over parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, bringing thunderstorms to Kansas, Oklahoma. We may just stay capped, meaning the atmosphere may not convect here south of the Red River, a lid on the atmosphere, preventing thunderstorm development. Monday, you could see maybe a few showers across the eastern half of Texas. That increases Monday night into Tuesday morning as a dry line moves from west to east. Very strong westerly winds with that. You could see storms get very rambunctious into parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. Compared to prior data, this is sped up a bit now, so this looks like a Tuesday morning, early Tuesday afternoon thunderstorm threat for the eastern third of Texas. Some of those storms could be severe with large hail, damaging wind gusts. But once that line of storms moves east with the dry line, very strong westerly winds gusting over 50 miles an hour at times, bringing blowing dust, very high to extreme wildfire danger to a decent chunk of Texas. So Tuesday is going to be a very windy day, blowing dust. Some areas will likely see visibility reductions, especially the western half of the state. And again, the fire danger is going to be very high to extreme. After that, Wednesday, Thursday looking less active. Another storm system potentially approaching Texas next Friday. And we'll have to see if we're dealing with thunderstorms with that. For what it's worth, this model is also indicating the chance for some light precipitation, light rain, maybe a little light snow up in the Panhandle Tuesday morning. We'll see. We're going to have a pretty dry air mass. Heading into Tuesday, the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center has pushed that higher level risk of severe weather, the darker orange, east out of Texas, into Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. We still do have the possibility of scattered severe storms with that line of storms Tuesday morning through early Tuesday afternoon as it moves from west to east. So squall line. Some of those storms could have damaging winds and large hail across the Arklatex, northeast Texas, east Texas, the Brazos Valley into the Golden Triangle, the Piney Woods of East Texas, the Toledo Bend Reservoir area. Maybe a tornado or two. We'll continue to refine the risk, timing elements, specific threat levels as we get closer in to next Tuesday. Otherwise, here's the forecast rain totals over the next 5 days. You can see most of this is going to be in the form of what we see on Tuesday. The potential for a 1/10 to a 1/4 inch of rain, the Panhandle, Northwest Texas, North Texas, Texoma, down to Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, and the Golden Triangle. 1/2 inch to maybe 1.5 inches of rain possible. Northeast Texas, the Arklatex, East Texas, into portions of, DFW points east, where that line of storms is most likely to move on Tuesday. Today's high temperature forecast across the great old Lone Star State. We're looking at highs in the 70s statewide, maybe a couple 80s down in the Rio Grande Plains, deep South Texas. Going into Saturday, things warm on up. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s, the Rio Grande Plains, 80s across Central Texas, the Hill Country, Southeast Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, deep South Texas, the Big Bend, even into parts of the Permian Basin. 60s up in the Panhandle. Everyone else, you're in the 70s for Saturday. Sunday, I mean, even with the storm system in play, we're not expecting a significant temperature alteration. Highs mostly in the 70s and 80s, 60s in the Panhandle, maybe 60s in the Arklatex, where we may see some cloud cover. On Monday, we have no temperature drop behind the system on Sunday, meaning it is going to be warm. We're looking at highs in the mid 80s, Big Country, Northwest Texas, the Concho Valley, down to the Hill Country, the Permian Basin, the Big Bend, upper 80s to low 90s in the Rio Grande Plains, the Edwards Plateau, deep South Texas. Everyone else is in the 70s. Going into Tuesday, this one we will start to see some temperature changes. We're going to have temperatures back into the 50s and 60s, western quarter of the state, with very windy conditions out of the west, low humidity, high to very high fire danger. We're going to see a bit of a temperature surge in South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, highs in the mid to upper 90s. We're looking at 95 Laredo, probably near 100 degrees just north of there. 95 in McAllen. We're looking at 90s just inland from Corpus Christi, 84 Brownsville, 85 San Antonio, 80 in Houston and Austin. We're looking upper 70s DFW. And then behind this, we will see a bit of cooler weather arrive Wednesday, not by much. Still highs in the 60s. And then back into Thursday next week, we're all back in the 70s and 80s. So, again, definitely feeling spring-like across the state. Here's the longer-range Climate Prediction Center outlook with a little added-in mouse just for fun. We're looking above average temperatures going into the 5th through 9th of March. Cooler in the western United States. Precipitation-wise, well, looks like a bit of a dry stretch between March 5th and 9th. Here in Texas, we'll see, with above average precip chances west coast and the east coast of the continental United States. Well, it is Friday, which means it is time to do that special thing where we give a shout out to the Spinny Doomers members here on the Texas Weather Center. We appreciate all our members here on the Texas Weather Center, but this is where we give a shout out to the Spinny Doomers. So, Anthony R. Pelosi Jr., thank you very much for being a Spinny Doomer. Brian Tucker, thank you for being a Spinny Doomer and a sponsor here on the Texas Weather Center. r/Tornado Chats, thank you for being the Spinny Doomers. Love, Live, Laugh, thank you for being the Spinny Doomers. Paranoid Pocho, thank you for being the Spinny Doomers. Tomas Kamashio, thank you for being the Spinny Doomers. Jen Kim, thanks for being the Spinny Doomers. Justin S., thanks for being the Spinny Doomers. Tanya McGee, thanks for being the Spinny Doomers. J.A., thanks for being a Spinny Doomers. S00 Patique, thank you for being a Spinny Doomers. Samantha Dolson, thanks for being a Spinny Doomers. Nancy Rosenberg, thank you for being a Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center. All right, folks, that's it for your Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. As always, you can find us in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers, where you download apps for your device for your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, and more. If you're interested in receiving weather warnings by phone call, head over to the video description and check out the Weather Call Next Gen service, where yours truly will give you a ring-a-ding when threatening weather approaches your location. And of course, if you want to join our members-only Discord server, just join any membership tier on the Texas Weather Center, Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel. You'll get access to the members-only Discord server. And of course, you can find us in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. We'll have videos out this weekend. And until then, y'all have a great Friday. God bless.